We are live from $1 Million Studios. Your boys, Chris Speez.
What's going on?
And the benchmark of professional wrestling, Mr. Silky Baines.
Man, it's a tiring day today.
Yeah, you're not feeling the intros with the, black excellence and what you normally are when we come to the show.
Yeah, I'm not right now, but it's all good. I mean, Speez.
All right, then. There you go. Speez and the Benchmark Show. Thursday night, August 2nd, 2018. Our 1 month anniversary. Silky, how about that? Of the show, that is. Not you and me.
Yeah, pause on that.
That's okay.
Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that at all. We welcome all of you who are watching us on the YouTubes, on Periscope. Thank you for being with us. And do us a favor, share the program, get it out there to as many folks as possible. We would appreciate that greatly. So, okay, I'm going to start us off tonight. I'm going to get right into it because we have got major conspiracy news. There's a huge breaking story earlier today. Here, use this. That'll help you right there. There you go. Major conspiracy, and we're going to break it to you right here on the Speez and the Benchmark Show because it is unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I don't really believe it now, but we're going to throw it out there anyway because it's that good.
Only Mac Diesel.
It was that entertaining. What's up, Mac Diesel? Ringside Rant, all you guys. Thank you for joining us here on Periscope, and thanks for spreading the good word. Keep those hearts coming. Did I enable super hearts today? I don't know if I did or not, but
Well, we'll find out.
We'll find out soon enough. Doesn't matter. It's all good. All right, so I want to get to this conspiracy stuff because holy cow, it is crazy. And guys, I apologize. I'm gonna have to read this from my phone because I tried to get this set up so that I could have it on screen so you could read along with me because man, is it worth it. But I'm going to try to give it its due.
Did you just fucking snort?
No, it was kind of a weird, like a weird thing. What's up, Alistair Fiend? Good to have you with us, sir. All right, so here we go, guys. Major news broken today on Twitter. You're getting it right here, Speez and the Benchmark Show. It has been noted. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm starting on page 2. Here we go. Lit Mantis, what's up, dude? Good to have you with us. You're just in time for the conspiracy, and Lit Mantis will appreciate this, I know. So check this out. Multiple sources high up in WWE have confided in me some very serious and damning information. This is a user on Twitter. Now, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to put this guy in any more trouble than he might get in because this is obviously highly sensitive information that he's putting out there. I want you guys to see it. It would appear Kevin Dunn is leading a small task force in the WWE at the personal order of Vince McMahon to pay fans to support Roman Reigns, both at television tapings and on social media. No.
I've heard enough.
No, come on. You got it. Come on.
I've heard enough.
Here we go.
Oh, my God.
Focus groups are showing an alarming few number of WWE fans like Reigns. So WWE is paying large sums of money to make sure that isn't the case. The amounts have not been confirmed, but I've been told anywhere from $100 to $200 per fan at live events, depending on where you're sitting. And on social media, fans are being paid anywhere from $1 to $10 per tweet, $5 to $20 per Instagram post, Silky, and $1 to $3 per Facebook comment in support of Reigns. These numbers vary depending on influence and reach. There's more. Just wait, there's more. It has been noted that Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon are both petrified at the animosity, disdain, and growing indifference towards Reigns and are doing everything they can to shift the narrative in their favor. This task force has been in place since January of 2017, but is only coming to light now as WWE employees are fed up and think it needs to be exposed at all costs. It is estimated that this task force has spent $5.8 million so far on fan payouts, with no real ceiling on the budget.
Oh, okay.
Fans are signing very powerful non-disclosure agreements that would result in excessive fines if violated, which means this story will be denied up and down now that it's been broken. However, if enough fans make a big enough stink about it, this could have massive implications. So let WWE hear your voice with the hashtag Stop Roman Payouts at all costs and hashtag Never Roman.
Man, fuck that.
That is some holy shit.
Task force.
Task force, like Get the Tables says. Welcome, Get the Tables, and thank you to whoever it was that was sending us some super hearts a minute ago. I saw that. It was very nice of you.
Yeah.
So, okay, there's a task force. Never Roman. Hashtag Never Roman. That's what David says.
What the fuck?
Yes, and thank you guys who are inviting your followers. We appreciate that. The crazy thing was, now I retweeted this earlier on, on Twitter. I put it out there, And a lot of people shared it, and a lot of people put comments on there like, this totally doesn't surprise me. It's so obvious that they would do something like that. How can that not happen? Something so clearly insane.
Yeah, it's certifiable, first of all. But if they get handing payouts, they're coming in like September or some shit. We need to get front row tickets, and I'll take a payout. I saw one of them say, I'll put a tweet out for fucking Stalin and Hitler for fucking $10 a tweet. I'll send a bunch of those motherfuckers.
Alistair Fiend with the super hearts. I appreciate it. Yeah, and so now I'm not going to mention this guy's name because we're not trying to call anybody out here, but I will tell you this is legitimate information. So this guy has 113 total. 113 total followers on Twitter. He's got a little work to do there, okay, but still, that's big time information. Now, he did reveal later on that he'd been had, and that another user actually emailed him and said, I'm the guy that, screwed you over, blah, 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 blah. But I couldn't believe.
Oh, Dr. Huge.
Yeah, Dr.
Patriots.
Huge. Yeah, that's because he's up here in that area. So, Juanito, good to see you, man. Hey, can you believe this? People were actually buying this shit. That Vince McMahon, in a publicly traded billion-dollar company, was paying people to cheer for Roman Reigns. That's how we've come. That's how far we've come. It's completely insane. Because
I just words escape me, but if they really were doing that, I would send out an ass load of tweets. I have no shame.
There were so many people that were saying, "Where's my check?" I
know.
But I couldn't believe that there were people, because that's what the Roman clones. I mean, there's so many people out there, just completely insane, and will believe anything that you throw out there on Twitter.
Yeah, apparently
they're paying because it's all about Roman will never be over. It's just you hear it all the time. Roman Reigns will never be over. I repeat, Roman Reigns will never be over. You see it all the time. All the time. Roman Reigns will never be over. And stop the Roman pay. Roman Reigns is being shoved down our throats. Our mouths are being forcefully opened, and he is being shoved down our throats. That sounds kind of sexual when you say it that way. It is not sexual. No, hashtag never Roman.
Hashtag not sexual.
Stop Roman Reigns. Hashtag not sexual. I mean, it's completely insane. That's what these people do. That's what these people do. They get online and they believe anything if it's anti-Roman Reigns. It's nuts. I couldn't believe how many folks bought it. But, and I looked back at this guy. He was the same guy that broke a couple days ago that in Miami for Monday Night Raw, he had a couple of audio experts. Do you have any fucking audio experts at your disposal, Silky? I didn't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't even wait for
this guy does.
I know people.
Audio experts broke down the chants at Raw on Monday night, and they were actually chanting a combination of "We want Strowman" and "We want Hogan." And apparently his audio experts were able to put those two phrases together, and it comes out like "We want Roman." See? Bunch of bullshit. People trying to say they were actually chanting for Roman Reigns on Raw. What are you guys watching?
But he has how many followers? 113?
113. I thought it was 113. It was 113.
113. Wow.
But it's been going through the roof, apparently. Apparently he had even less, and it's just been going nuts since then. So good for that guy.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah. That's...
Never Roman. Hashtag never Roman.
Hashtag not sexual.
Hashtag not sexual. Got to send a shout out to Dr. Huge. It's his birthday today. So all
Dr.
you
Huge
members of the Huge Inverse, very grateful that he had me on the show earlier this week. So that was great. So happy birthday to Dr. Huge. We're going to have him here on the Speez and the Benchmark show very shortly. So we're looking forward to that. Now, the question that we put out there for you guys this week, because this whole Roman Reigns insanity started, but I heard a lot of people going off on Tuesday were very unhappy about the fact that Charlotte Flair won her way into the match for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship coming up at SummerSlam. For those of you who don't know, will now be a triple threat. No longer just Becky Lynch versus Carmella. It is now Becky Lynch versus Carmella versus Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is now in the mix. I even saw people referring to Charlotte Flair as the female Roman Reigns. She is now the female. Charlotte Flair is being forced down our throats. Her supple fake boobs are being forced down our throats. That actually doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah, that actually.
It is bad. Charlotte Flair is being forced down our throat. That's what people are saying. Now, Charlotte Flair. The female Roman Reigns.
Hashtag totally sexual.
Totally sexual.
And okay with it.
So it got me to thinking, because a lot of the comments were driven more at, this really sucks for Becky Lynch.
I mean, it does. I mean, but what the fuck are you going to do about it? I mean, she's still at SummerSlam, one of the big fours, in a marquee match in one of the big fours. Would you have liked it? I mean, I've been in several, like, triple threat matches, fatal four-ways, and just being on the big show is what mattered. I mean, would I have liked to wrestle for, like, a big title on a big show? Yeah, but if they're like, I'm wrestling a big champion and another person, fuck it. Payday's the same.
This is true. And it got the conversation going in lines of, we really feel bad for Becky. Becky's so underappreciated. She's so very underappreciated. And the fact of the matter is,
she's not.
Well, you could say. I mean, here's
she's not.
And Becky's been coming out and saying, look, last time I held the SmackDown Live title was like December of 2016, I think it was, she said. Hadn't had a title match until, since mid 2017 at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 33 in the, what was it, triple threat there as well.
32. What? Yeah, 32.
Was it 32?
It was 32.
I can't remember if it's 32 or 33. But anyway, so it's been a while. And so we got to thinking over here at the Speez and the Benchmark show, who are some of the most underappreciated pro wrestling superstars today? And a lot of people chimed in, and we thought we'd chat about it with you guys. So chime in on the comments. Hello, Brooke. It is nice to see you. She's
still going for Becky Lynch.
Still going for Becky Lynch. This is true. And I have a feeling I know who Brooke's pick for the most underrated superstar is going to be, but we'll wait and see.
Feel free, everyone, to chime in with who you feel is underappreciated.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be, and if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube or Periscope, especially on YouTube, leave us a comment. Let us know who you think. And if you're listening to us on the podcast, hit us up on our Twitter page at Speez Benchmark and let us know. So let's get to some of the tweets that we got earlier today and see what some of our followers said. Starting off with Never Quit Sigs. Gregory DeLela, he says Jinder Mahal is one of the most the most underappreciated superstar today. So we'll start with Jinder there.
Yep.
We'll get your thoughts on each of these. Yeah, there's Brooke chiming in. I'm not surprised there. Next up, we had Laura Laughlin, I think it is. Lady Diablo de la Muerte. Literally the person you mentioned here, and the person I mentioned in my tweet was Becky Lynch. Look at Money in the Bank. No one cheered that hard when Charlotte got close to the briefcase, but they did when Becky did. For both a female wrestler and one WWE doesn't focus enough on, she's so organically over and loved. So there's one for Becky Lynch. Let's see. Stephen Whittle says easy. Bobby Roode. Major talent being completely misused. And Juanito agrees. He just chimed in with Rude. Rebecca Smith, who we very much like because she always provides great explanations. Yeah, for her picks. Just knowing his battle from from following him on Breaking Ground, I have to go with Tyler Breeze. He spent longer than any other superstar in NXT and was almost cut a few times. For him to be called up and underrated makes me sad.
I don't think he's underrated.
Well, we'll get to our breakdowns here in just one minute. I just want to get one more in here. Smarkinator says Cesaro, Cassius Ohno, who we both like that pick.
Yeah, that was
and
a good one.
Essentially every NXT call up from the past 2 to 3 years.
That is not wrong either.
Yeah, there's the NXT crowd has had a tough go of it here recently. Yeah. So let's get to some of their picks first, and then we'll get to ours. The first up was Jinder Mahal. Do you think Jinder Mahal is underappreciated? Did we not appreciate the greatness of Jinder Mahal when he was WWE champion enough?
I do. I think that he was underappreciated for the work that he put in to get to that point. I mean, is he on
the gas? He's got to be on the gas.
I have no clue.
Because that guy used to be like, we went from pudgy Jinder to literally like 0% body fat Jinder. It was completely insane.
He works out a lot. But every interaction I've had with Jinder, he's been a genuinely good guy. So That's why I think it was little. And I always feel a certain type of way when someone takes away from people's accomplishments, like, oh, he was only the WWE champion because they were going to India and things like that. It's like he worked his ass off to get himself in that position.
This is true.
And it's classic fans wanting to. They tired of the main event. They're tired of Randy Orton as champ. And then they're tired of Cena as champ. They're tired of all these people as champ. And then you give them someone new, and they're like, well, I want Orton as champ. I don't want Jinder Mahal. And, I mean, he did. His only thing he was a victim of is bad booking on the fact that every one of his title matches were the same.
He fought Randy Orton a million times.
Yeah.
And it was just ridiculous.
Just everyone. Like, all of his matches with Orton, Nakamura, Styles, any match he had was essentially get beat up. One of the Singh brothers comes in. They get beat up. He hits the Colossus 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, their finishes were ridiculous.
I do think he is totally underappreciated for the work he put in to get himself to that level.
Yeah, and they didn't do him any favors with the I'm the foreigner and I don't like America thing either. I mean, that was we've been there and done that forever, and we're kind of over that at this point. So that was they didn't do him a lot of favors.
So I do agree. Jinder is underappreciated.
We got Bobby Roode in there.
Definitely, but like I say, I think it's because he was a heel, and he was a very good heel on NXT, and then you bring him up and he's baby. I think there needs to be a better way to transition these talents from NXT to the main roster, because the fans that NXT are loyal.
Yeah.
And they watch, and they're generally happy when their favorite
when their
NXT
guys get called up. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's almost impossible to make them a heel when they first come. If Bobby Roode came in as a heel, I think he would have been better.
I totally agree. I think, and again, I'm not going to lie, I think a lot of it had to do with the fucking intro song that people just love.
Yeah, that
to sing the intro song, and so folks on the main roster went, "Hey, well, they love the intro. They must love Bobby Roode. Let's make him a face. He'll be so much better as a face." And he's just not.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my follow-up question to the gentleman that sent it in to us was, does part of this your pick have to do with the fact that they turned him heel? And he was like, absolutely. He's so much better as a heel. Let's see. Tyler Breeze. Now, Tyler Breeze came up in a couple other tweets besides the one that I put up here on the screen, but what do you think of Tyler Breeze being underappreciated? Is he underappreciated?
I don't think so. My personal opinion.
Because you don't see Tyler Breeze as a major star.
No, I don't. It's like, I just don't. He doesn't connect to me. It's like the whole supermodel. I mean, I love the Fashion Files and stuff. It's great comedy, and if that's what he's aiming for, then no problem to him. But I mean, he's right where he should be given the gimmick that he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that gimmick is not going to be a fucking world champion or even Intercontinental or U.S. champion.
That's
that gimmick.
I was watching Dr. Huge's show earlier tonight, and his guest was talking about how the B team is the same kind of way. Yeah. And they managed to get to the tag team championships, but how long can you maintain a comedy gimmick as one of your major champions? And it's I don't know. I mean,
it can be done. It's just with the booking of the matches they need to get more and more. They need to start getting more and more serious, and instead of getting these fluke wins or things like that, start actually pulling out some hard fought victories, and then they will get over past that comedy gimmick.
I agree. Now, do you see Tyler Breeze, and Juanito agrees that Bobby Roode's better as a heel? Totally agree with you there, sir. I think we're all in agreement on that one. Hope Brock goes to UFC to stay
Wicked
there.
Clown.
Wicked Clown. We'll see what happens, man. He's certainly headed in that direction, but we shall see. Do you think Tyler Breeze would be better off as a singles superstar? I mean, that seemed to be his gimmick it was his gimmick in NXT. I mean, that character, people really enjoyed that character. And NXT is a different audience.
Yeah, it's a different, and it was a different feel. He was that, comedic. Well, not even comedic. He was that arrogant, cocky heel, that supermodel thing. But when it was time to go, he could really fucking go in the ring.
I totally agree, and I wish they would give him that
opportunity.
Once they
took that away from him, he just all comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Like
there's
he
got to
literally got the Breezango to an actual tag team match on a pay-per-view, and he dressed up like a fucking janitor and then a woman and all that shit. And it was just, to me, it was disrespectful to the tag team champion, because you work hard to get that spot, right? And now you're going to get up there and not take it serious?
Yeah.
I mean, I can get the fun and jokes to get under their skin once to get them to the match. But once you get in the match, you should be trying to fucking win. Not fucking walk around in like a ball cap and then go and powder out on the ring and change, and now you're in a fucking dress.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Dr. Huge is a big fan of Breezango. Breeze to 205 Live as a single is cool.
That's actually not a bad idea.
That is a good idea, Dr. Huge. 205 Live's been really turning a corner, so there's a lot of guys going on and doing good things there. One of the surprises, Leo Rush, seems to be doing quite well on 205 Live. Why didn't Strowman get in Brock's face since they were both in the same building, says Alistair Fiend. That's a good question.
He doesn't need to.
Well, if he wants to win the title, he sure as hell does.
But again, and I've stated this several times, Braun Strowman should not be trying bitch cash in by catching Brock Lesnar while he's slipping.
Here's the only
he
hole.
needs to go up and he needs to stand in the center of the ring, challenge him, say, even if it's that night, like, tonight, I am challenging you. I'm cashing in this Money in the Bank one-on-one in the main event.
Yeah, I hear you.
Anything other than that, it really takes away from him being a monster.
And here's the only hole in that theory. We've already seen Braun Strowman one-on-one with Brock Lesnar, and he lost.
Yeah.
And we've seen Braun Strowman in a fatal four-way with Brock Lesnar, and he lost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as if, and this is one of the holes in the way that they've booked him as far as I'm concerned, and again, we can get into booking all day long, but I can see where, looking at it, they might say, okay, well, Braun couldn't beat Brock when they had a one-on-one, and he couldn't beat him in that fatal four-way, so let's book him to win the Money in the Bank, and then he can get the title that way because he hadn't been able to do it in the past. Now, I don't agree with that, but I'm saying I see the logic of it if that's the way you're looking at it.
That sounds stupid.
Why does it sound stupid? You can't beat a guy one-on-one, so I'm gonna jump in on him on Money in the Bank.
I mean, that's some shit Kevin Owens would do.
I totally agree. That's why Kevin Owens should have won the fucking Money in the Bank.
Yeah, he should have, him or Miz. Like, they were the perfect candidates to win a match like that, just because of the fact that their character, you don't look down on their character for doing that shit like that.
Yep.
But Braun Strowman, it hurts his credibility as a big man, as this monster among men. Why the fuck would a monster among men feel like
chicken shit his way?
Yeah, chicken shit his way to the title. I don't care if you get beat. Guess what? People lose all the time.
That's true.
And they still go back and they keep fighting.
I totally agree.
So
I totally agree. And I totally agree
at one point, the Patriots were really shitty. And they kept losing.
30 fucking years ago now that we got to listen to them all the time. And I totally agree with Juanito, who says he's going to send the benchmark of Phillip Rivers jersey because fuck Tom Brady. And good for you, Juanito, out there on the West Coast, coming strong. I can't send him I guess I could give you a Deshaun Watson jersey. You probably sport a Deshaun Watson jersey.
I would sport any jersey. Send it in. We're going to get a P.O. box, and you can send me that.
There you go. See, Juanito, he's indiscriminate when it comes to free shit. So
yeah, I am not discriminate when it comes to free shit.
You send him whatever.
You won't catch me in it on game day, but, I'll still rock it every now and then when I'm out and about.
One of our favorite picks as far as underappreciated pro wrestling stars, and those of you joining us, thanks for being with us. Hope you'll help share this with your followers. Head on over to the YouTube channel and give us a follow over there as well. We got Broncos fans in the house as well, so there you go.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Hey, they're not complaining. They just got a Super Bowl a couple years ago. Cassius Ohno was one of the picks that we really liked. Is he going to make his way back up to the main roster?
No.
You don't think he is?
No.
See, I kind of get that feeling myself.
I get that feeling. I mean, I don't think right now he will. I think he's going to keep doing NXT until he's ready to, kind of, I guess, retire in a sense, and he's going to take a training job at the PC, and that's where he's going to be. Because, I mean, if you've ever sat in a room with him, he has a phenomenal mind for the business.
And you have sat in a room with him.
So I see that going. I see him doing that more than, because you take him, especially now. I mean, you move him to the main roster. I mean, what does he do? I don't think, to us who are true wrestling fans, we love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch anything he's in. I'd watch him wrestle a fucking mop. But to the mass audience, you know, they're not going to really, it's not going to put money, it's not going to move merch or anything like that.
Well,
so
they're going to say what Dr. Hughes is saying right now, which is he's fat. I don't have my Scott Steiner, Dr. Hughes, otherwise I'd give you the props on that one. But yeah,
but I mean, he could still outwork half the guys. He can outwork John Cena.
He can still go.
He can outwork all of them. So
yeah, I totally agree with you there. So now the other one that we had come up was Becky Lynch, and that's kind of what started this whole conversation.
And my rationale behind saying no is because wrestling is, you know, cyclical. So she had her moment at the top. It ended, so she had to wait around till that circle came back to her. So, I mean, she was still being used. I mean, she may not have had title matches, but I mean, at that time, the women's division wasn't what it is now, especially when they made that decision to split. That kind of sucked for her. But, you know, what did she had to wait her turn, and she was still getting used. She's still always been a major player in, you know, the women's division.
But now that she's got a chance, and I agree with you, you know, the internet was going apeshit, and they wanted Becky Lynch to win the SmackDown Women's title when it first came out, and they got it. They got it. She did, and she had a decent enough title run, and it's taken her a while to get back up there. But one of the things that you brought up earlier, and you mentioned this about this specific person I'm about to talk about, this was another person that somebody mentioned, is that people bitch and moan that the same people win the belts all the time. We want some fresh, you know, why can't we get some new pushes for some new people? And one of the people who got a push was Carmella.
Yep.
And you mentioned it before when we talked about how everybody bitched and moaned that the same handful of people were winning the titles all the time, and let's get somebody different. And then we got Carmella in there. And then everybody bitched and moaned about Carmella.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch, since Becky Lynch has been there and done that, do you find it somewhat... Because it's odd how people react to certain things, because it really comes down to, at the end of the day, no matter how much people try to spin it and so on and so forth, you want the people you like to win.
Yeah.
And you want the people you don't like not to win. Exactly. And that's when wrestling is so much more fun, when people just keep it simple like that. I root for this person and this person and this person. And that's what it is. It's not because, you know, you don't have to make up some rationale about them being misused or being booked improperly or being given a bad gimmick. Fucking Dusty Rhodes had a shit gimmick where he had fucking polka dots and danced around with some old black woman, and he made it work, and it was fucking crazy.
You know, it sounds racist when you say it like that.
Some old black woman?
Yeah, old black woman.
She was an old black woman. Should I say an old African-American woman?
Or you could use her name, you know, Sapphire.
Well, I didn't remember her name.
Mm-hmm. Because you just remember she was an old black woman.
That's right. If she was an old white woman, I would have remembered her name. If it was Ethel, the old
probably
white woman, I probably would have remembered that name.
Yeah, you would have remembered Ethel Mertz and shit.
Unbelievable.
I know. I Love Lucy. Isn't that what you people watch?
You people, to be fair. Yeah, I want to get to one other thing here, and I forgot to. I'm going back to our friends over at Cage Side Seats because I like their content. I like the stuff that they do. But one of the things I wanted to bring up, because this was a guy that I had as one of my picks for most underappreciated WWE superstars, and I'm going to tell you why.
Lana.
One of the guys, Slappy.
Oh, my bad.
You actually think Lana belongs up there?
No.
No, I don't think so. Carmella wins at SummerSlam to make her a top girl for life, says Dr. Huge.
I kind of agree. I think everyone's looking for Charlotte to win and wanting Becky to win, and Carmella's going to slide through and keep the title. I mean, she actually hasn't done a bad job as heel champ.
I don't think she has either.
Yeah, so
I've said this for quite some time now. She's done exactly what a heel champ is supposed to do. Exactly what a heel champ is supposed to do. Brooke says that was racist, Chris. Watch it. You better watch yourself, Chris. Brooke is watching.
That was a racist caricature voice of black people, too.
What the fuck are you talking about? Now it's just insanity. Here's a guy that I think is underappreciated by both by wrestling fans, I would say, but not by the WWE, clearly. And it's Brock Lesnar. And I'm going to tell you why Brock Lesnar is underappreciated by WWE fans. What are you doing? Hit it.
It's not working.
Hit it.
Oh dear God.
Okay, here, you can have control of it there. Is that what you were going for? The Rock?
No, God!
What are you doing?
No, God, please, no!
Yes,
no!
Brock Lesnar.
No!
Brock Lesnar.
No!
Brock Lesnar, Silky, is underappreciated. See, Dr. Hugh just calling me a racist now. The show's ratings just went in the toilet because I'm a racist. Actually, we're going to go up in ratings because all the redneck rubes are going to start listening to us. We're going to go, I don't like the blackie on there, but that Speez guy's pretty funny. If they could just kick the darkie out of the room, we'd probably have a lot more fun on the damn show. So here's what I'm going to say.
You do that voice so naturally.
Brock Lesnar, hey, that's the way it goes. Here's what I'm going to say. Brock Lesnar is underappreciated by the WWE universe. Or maybe they just don't understand why Brock Lesnar does what he does and gets what he gets in terms of all this preferential treatment and so on and so forth. All right? Biggest YouTube viewing day of the year was this past Tuesday, 2 days ago, after Brock Lesnar returned to Monday Night Raw. And it was the biggest YouTube viewing day of the year, not only this year, but going back quite a ways as well. Now, this is just one metric, okay? But I want to read to you some of the numbers here. This is the number of, and there's a guy on there, he calls himself, it's Signor. So I don't know if that's Signor or Senor. If I say Senor, it's probably going to sound racist, so maybe it is Signor. I don't know. But whoever it is, he writes fan posts over on Cage Side Seats where he talks about these viewing numbers. So it's very rare for, in the 24-hour period, or I should say till 4 Eastern the following day, for a YouTube video from WWE to get over 1 million views. Like, if you get over 1 million views, that's pretty darn good. Yeah. Okay? Brock Lesnar, when he came back on Monday, 4.7 million views between the end of Monday Night Raw and 4 p.m. Eastern the following day. 4.7 million views for Brock Lesnar coming back. Now, the number 2, and this was Brock Lesnar, F5's Kurt Angle, and then attacks Paul Heyman. It's on the WWE's YouTube channel. Again, this is one metric, but 4.7 million views when getting over 1 million views is a huge deal. Guess what the number 2 video that night was?
What?
Roman Reigns calls out Brock Lesnar. That one had 1.2 million views. Third one, Paul Heyman tries to get Brock Lesnar to come out to the ring. That one had 1 million views. All right? They went on in this article to talk about the biggest or the most watched videos of the year in the period from the end of the show to 4 Eastern the following day. Okay? I'm going to read you what they are in the top 10. Tell me if you recognize anything here. Lesnar destroys Kurt Angle. That had 4.7 million views. Lesnar and Reigns, WrestleMania Go-Home Brawl. That had 4.6 million views. Lesnar beats down Reigns on Raw. That had 3.9 million views. Those are your top 3. Number 4, Bobby Lashley's return. 5 and 6 were Ronda Rousey. 7 and 8, Brock Lesnar again. Number 9 was Ronda Rousey. And number 10, Reigns cuts a promo after losing the Greatest Royal Rumble to
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, thank you very much. So, Dr. Huge points out that Seth Rollins' penis video was 2.8 million views. So that one, unfortunately, Doc, did not make the WWE homepage.
Oh.
So it doesn't. It didn't work into the metrics here. But Brock Lesnar's all over this list. Ronda Rousey's all over this list. The only guy that had anything going that didn't involve either Brock Lesnar or Ronda Rousey was Bobby Lashley returning.
Yeah.
And he's another MMA guy. And and we're going to get to the MMA thing in just a minute. But my point was, people piss and moan about what the WWE is doing with Brock Lesnar. And he's holding this title hostage. Like, this title's been around for 30 fucking years. And we absolutely, can't have the WWE Universal title not be in the picture. It's a relatively new title. Come on, it's not a huge deal. It would be more fun if the title was around, I'd give you. But it's not that big a deal. But the fact of the matter is, Brock Lesnar moves the fucking needle. He just does. And there was a time when it went down a little bit. He didn't move the numbers quite as much as he did in the past. But certainly the way that they've done it now, where he hasn't been around in a while, and now he's back, the numbers don't lie. Somebody just said it, whoever it was that just commented on it, and I apologize that I missed who it was. If it was Alistair, the numbers don't lie. And again, we're looking at one metric, and that's one thing, but a lot of people watch this shit. Brock Lesnar's all over the place. Our friends over at Takamania, you can check them out at _Takamania on Twitter. They asked the question, why is there so many references to MMA on WWE now?
Yeah.
And if you notice, every one of the top 10 most viewed videos had a fucking MMA person in there.
Yeah.
Lashley, Lesnar, Ronda Rousey. So you would think, looking at that maybe all these crazy old men yelling at the clouds like Jim Cornette and all those guys that say, wrestling really works a lot better when you actually have some real badasses. When you book people who are legit badasses and really look like they can kick the shit out of somebody. If you look at the fucking numbers, it certainly seems like the fans would feel the same way. Thank you, Alistair Fiend, for the Super Hearts again. And what's up, Chris Surratt? Thank you for joining us. Am I totally off base here, Silky? Or is this... Are we trying to reinvent the wheel again?
I think WWE kind of is with this, but my personal opinion is I understand the numbers, but no, I mean, I don't see him as underappreciated because...
Yeah, I'm talking about solely from a fan perspective. Now,
from
obviously...
a fan perspective, I mean, it's hard for me to say that he's still underappreciated because he's getting some reaction. You know what I mean?
This is true.
So when I think of underappreciated from a fan standpoint, is someone who is not getting what they deserve. I mean, you just talked about it. He's got all those numbers, and he's the fucking Universal Champ. So it seems like he got what he deserved, right?
That's the way I look at it.
So you can't be unappreciated if you're getting what's due to you from whatever you are contributing. I mean, yes, I would love to see the Universal title
back in circulation.
Yeah, back in circulation. I would love, like I say, to even see him more than, like I say, it doesn't have to be like a match on Raw, but I'd love to see him make presence so they're not doing hype around who's going to face him, and then it's like he doesn't take anyone seriously, which is probably true, but there's things that can be done that doesn't have to be Brock Lesnar wrestling all the time and defending the title.
Yeah, I totally agree. And here's the thing, and Dr. Huge says badasses with gimmicks are money, and that's so true. That's so true. There are so few legit badasses. And, I started looking back over earlier in the year, and the only other videos that show up as the most watched videos from this year, all time on WWE's list, was Braun Strowman flipping over the fucking ambulance and Braun Strowman destroying Kevin Owens' car. And what's Braun Strowman? He's another big man. Yeah. He's another big man that does shit that normal people can't do. And that's the thing. And it was just one of those eye-opening things.
So you're telling me there was no view? The views were low for Braun Strowman sticking Kevin Owens in dumping
the porta potty thing?
Yeah, the porta potty thing.
Yeah, I don't think that was up there.
I really loved that one.
What opened my eyes was the fact that Vince gets so much shit for his fascination with big guys. And he just loves him some big guys. And there's the big guys and blah, 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 and all that kind of shit. And when you look at it, when you start looking at the numbers and you start looking at things that move the needle and make that company money, again, it's a totally different game when you're talking about the casual fans versus the hardcore fans. The hardcores are never going to get behind Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
They're never going to get behind Brock Lesnar because he's a part-timer. They're never going to get behind John Cena because he's a part-timer. They're going to turn on Ronda Rousey because she's going to be a part-timer. You watch. It's going to happen. I guarantee you it'll happen. That's just, you're not going to get that. But your guys like Seth Rollins, your guys like Finn Balor, sorry, Brooke, they're not moving the needle the same way that these other guys are. And you can argue that it's because they're not in the prime positions and so on and so forth. But another guy that didn't appear all over that list, gets a pretty big push in WWE and the fans seem to like him, is AJ Styles. Is AJ Styles a big needle mover like that?
But, I mean, I don't know. You'd have to look it up because these numbers are strictly from Monday after.
No, I was looking at.
So before SmackDown airs. So.
Well, no, this included Raw and SmackDown.
That did?
Yeah, this list included Raw and SmackDown.
But you said the cutoff was like 4 p.m. Tuesday.
4 p.m. the following day. So it also included
Tuesday.
SmackDown Live.
No, it wouldn't because.
No, 4 p.m. the following day for Raw and 4 p.m. the following day for SmackDown. It includes them both. So if you look at.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. So, and I was looking at the top ones for the year, which could have been either show. But like number 4 on the list for this week was Nakamura and Randy Orton attack Jeff Hardy. That was 989,000 views. So it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But again, the point being that, Brock Lesnar got 5 times that, which is completely insane. Alistair brings up Finn Balor going to 205 potentially. You agree with the 205 for Finn Balor? I've heard that argument before, and I actually don't mind that argument.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, at least for my personal preference of watching, I think that once you've been to that mountaintop, you can't go that far down. And not saying that, but Universal Champ, which is a World Heavyweight Championship,
yes, sir,
and then the Cruiserweight Champ are way different wavelengths. So just because, in theory,
as I've been trying to say, because I've got Ricochet as being a future WWE champion,
and I have him as a future Cruiserweight champ, but that's neither here nor there.
Which is why Silky's wrong, but that's okay.
What happens is he's been to the top, so in theory, if he can get there, he should dominate.
He should be able to get back.
Yeah, he should dominate 205 Live if you put him there.
Agreed.
Like, there's not one person that he still regularly beats huge motherfuckers.
I'm upsetting Brooke because I'm talking trash about Finn Balor. First, it was because of my my racist rendition of what's that gal's name again? Sapphire, because I couldn't remember her name because she was black, and I don't remember black folks' name.
Ethel Mertz.
That's right. I don't even know Silky's real name. I just call him Silky because it's a black guy. So anyway. Let's see. Let's get caught up on some of these comments. Juanito says AJ Styles, another underappreciated guy. Joe and AJ be a good fight at SummerSlam. I agree. Wicked clowns. Velveteen Dream is another guy that's doing very well. So yeah, there's a lot of folks out there that you could say are underappreciated. But again, I think that from WWE's perspective, and they're in a unique position because they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and nobody else in wrestling is anywhere close to that, nor will they be anytime soon. And they got to look at things differently. I'm not going to say the shows can't be booked better, and you can't push other people. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and crush them for the decisions that they make, because when you start looking at the shit more carefully,
they're making money.
It's hard to argue when they're making money. Yeah, exactly.
If I could steer the conversation, what do you think now with this recent surge of indie signings and what is your takes on where do you think that's going to leave the indie scene? Because they just signed, WWE just signed Matt Riddle. Yeah, exactly. Yes, and with the recents like Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, which I think
Keith Lee's going to debut on NXT next week.
Yep.
We're big Keith Lee guys.
Yeah, shout out to Keith Lee.
Absolutely.
Very good guy.
Super cool guy from what I hear. Haven't had the chance to meet him yet, but I look forward to it. Yeah, it's interesting because, the big talk now, and somebody mentioned it on the comments here a minute ago, that, talking about Kenny Omega potentially coming to WWE or the Bucks potentially coming to WWE because their contracts are coming up soon. It's hard to say because you get a guy like Austin Aries, for example, and I think Juanito brought him up a second ago. You get a guy like Austin Aries who comes to WWE and he's not happy because he doesn't get the push that he feels like he needs or whatever. I've heard stories about Austin Aries not being the easiest guy to get along with. I've never met the guy. I don't know. But maybe it had something to do with that. But anyway, he bounced. He said, fuck this, I'm leaving.
Fuck this shit,
went back out there. He's doing very well for himself.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes, the other guy.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes doing great for himself out there now, having left WWE. So, it's interesting to see as many of these indie guys come in as they do, because at the end of the day, you got to look at it as being one of two things. It's either the money or it's the fact that they want to play on the biggest stage. And there's no question that WWE is the biggest stage.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get bigger with the Fox deal, with SmackDown Live. They're going to have more people, more eyeballs on the product. So, I don't know, man. As an indie guy, it's that same kind of thing where do you start to view it? Because I know a lot of the fans view it this way, as and you guys chime in on this, as you're selling out if you go to WWE. it almost seemed that's what it almost feels like. It feels like, you know, back in the 90s when I was coming up and all these bands like Nirvana and all those guys, it was cool. I like Nirvana until they signed with a major label and then fuck those guys. You know, it was that same kind of shit. They were selling out for whatever reason.
But whoever says that's fucking stupid.
Well, that's my question. But don't you think that WWE fans or non-WWE fans view these indie guys signing with WWE as selling out to a certain extent?
They may, but again, they'd be idiots. I mean, when you're on the indie level, sometimes not all of us are able to, you know, do things like this and wrestle as their sole means of income. A lot of those motherfuckers have daytime jobs. So are you telling me they're stupid for taking a job, doing what they love, that pays them enough to where all they have to fucking do is wrestle?
Yeah, Big One 123. We can see your comments, brother. Yeah, I think that's nuts to think that. I don't agree with it, but I see this. I see people saying that, and that's why, you know, every time somebody like Matt Riddle signs or somebody like Keith Lee signs, it punches holes in that theory.
Yeah. Now, will they be? I mean, time will tell to see how their style, because there's certain people that are on the indies that are big names and stuff that I just don't see working within the WWE system.
Totally agree with you. And Austin Aries was one of them.
Yeah.
Because he's a little guy.
And honestly, Matt Riddle's another one.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with Matt Riddle.
Phenomenal wrestler. But like his gimmick and way he wrestles, I don't think that's conducive to the WWE style. I'd more see him being a bigger star in New Japan.
He very well could be. We're going to get a lot of bros. A lot of bros, bro, because he loves to bro it out, bro.
Yeah, the bro mission.
The bro mission. Babaruski says, you're not selling out. You're simply getting your name bigger and getting exposure. And
exactly. And then you're cashing in because if you inevitably leave the company, guess what? Now you're a legitimate WWE. If you make it to TV, though. This is my personal PSA to all independent workers. Make it to TV first. And then once you've made it to TV, you can say that you're an actual former WWE superstar. I see way too many flyers where a guy appeared in a backstage segment or, you know, you got called for a tryout, you know, nothing came of it. They say, oh, I was a WWE superstar. You'd be surprised how many people said, like,
Silky Bane's former WWE superstar.
I know, if that's the case. But seriously, like, you get on the TV, you make your name, and then if you leave, you know, the sky's the limit. People will pay ass loads of money to see you wrestle. That's why I said, I think back in the earlier incarnation, the Pro Wrestling Recap, we had this conversation where I felt like, I said that I feel like you can make more money on an independent circuit than you can make in WWE, but only, you know, the only caveat is you need that WWE.
Yeah, see,
like, and you make it to TV. Hell, if you can get a title, that'd be great. But just making the TV more than just a couple matches where you're a regular feature and then you leave, now you can charge extra because you're a former WWE superstar that wrestled on TV, and people will pay out the nose for that. I know people who made just the one appearance in like a Mae Young Classic or a Cruiserweight Classic that make ass loads of money off the one appearance.
Yep. Yep. One of the local girls, Miranda Richardson. Richardson?
No,
Miranda Salinas.
Yeah.
Miranda, who wrestles down here, been doing very well for herself since being on the Mae Young Classic. Good to have you with us, Chris Surratt. Thanks for swinging by, man. Want to get to some of these comments here. Look at Babaruski says, look at how big Ellsworth got after the fact. I mean, Ellsworth's a great example. Brooke and David both brought up Neville and what's going on with Neville, because I think he's another guy that...
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on with him, because I think technically he's still under contract.
I was going to say what's probably happening, guys, and from what I understand, he's still under contract, and WWE is not going to let him out of that contract to go wrestle elsewhere. So he's basically just sitting on the sidelines.
Pulling the WCW, I'm just going to sit.
Pulling a paycheck and doing his thing. So Brooke asks, would we like to work with WWE? Hey, you know, I'm not going to rule anything out. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I enjoy the flexibility of doing what I'm doing. You tell me you're going to put me in front of millions of faces and let me sit and talk about wrestling all day.
Oh, yeah.
Probably be a tough paycheck for me to pass up. So, yeah. Babaruski says...
his contract is frozen. No.
Contract is frozen. WWE page, hello. Good to have you with us as well. He's not in rehab, Alistair. Neville is not in rehab. He's used to be on 205 when it was shitty rehab is what he's in.
Yeah.
I miss that guy, my favorite guy. We got him up here on the toy shelf behind us here somewhere because just a Neville guy. Wicked Clowns misses Del Rio. Well, okay. I wonder if he's saying that just because WWE page stopped by. That's probably what that's all about. So,
well, see, someone could miss Del Rio. Maybe.
I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, doubt it.
All right, folks, well, we are getting close to the top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and wrap things up for this episode of the Speez and the Benchmark Show. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us. Thanks for the super hearts. Alistair, we appreciate it. Thanks for the comments. Make sure to hit up the YouTube channel right here down below, tinyurl.com/Speez Benchmark. We got other videos up there besides just our live shows. We got my every Tuesday night SmackDown Live review in under 3 minutes, so it's a quick watch. Give it a watch, leave a comment, and let us know what you think. And Silky's new series, his top 5 lists that we're going to start having very soon, will be coming up. Almost is the upgraded Del Rio. I totally agree, Babaruski. Yeah. That is very good. Thank you, Juanito, for the comments here. So, Silky, before we get out,
White Bart. Sorry.
Anything to throw out there to the people before we say goodnight?
August 26th, come see me at the Katie Elks Lodge. Punch people several times around the facial region.
And I will be there as well, supporting the Benchmark Silky Beans. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We will see you next time here on the Speez and the Benchmark Show.